Hello everybody, I'm Wieteke Koolhof of Design for Awareness, and I'm here again with Laurie Mc Donald, who is a clinical hypnotherapist and a abduction researcher. Hi Laurie.
Hi.
So as promised, we're kind of in a role of making videos right now.
Yes, we are.
And in the last one, we spoke about all kinds of beautiful personal experiences that you shared with us. And well, she had such a beautiful last phrase in the last video, stating that, well, the message is so unconditional loving, and also that, well, you're being sent back to yourself, that the truth is within us, it's within ourselves.
That's right.
And so it's funny that once people start channeling, like I do, there's a lot of spiritual seeking people who kind of wonder, so why ETs, why extraterrestrials? So how does that add to spiritual exploration? And isn't a channeler just another messenger outside of us that really isn't relevant? So I'm really curious. So I figured this out for myself, of course, already. But I'm really curious what your take is on this.
Well, I have created 5 distinct categories in the book that I'm writing for extraterrestrial contact. And I talk about integrating the extraterrestrial experience and evolving from the abduction into a contactee. And then the area that I've done the least amount of research in is channeling.
Oh, okay.
And it's because, one, my age, I've seen the channelers from earlier days like Seth and so forth. And then when I looked into like Abraham Hicks and some of the other Bashar and so forth, the message is beautiful, but it's the same. And so the message is the same, so how much research am I going to do? But the message is strong. And it is powerful as long as the message is directing the human being to seek the answers inside as they move out to connect. It's a loop. You got to go in to go out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you create that amazing energy.
Yes.
And you're able to take it. And so, I mean, I realize now that it does take many voices to resonate with different segments of the population, and that the people that you're going to reach might be different than the people that Bashar or Hicks is going to reach, or Seth books even, you know. So each person needs to have it resonate within their consciousness so that it'll trigger that one thing that will get them to go, ah, yes, I see, and then start their path.
Right.
So we just want to make sure that when we're listening to channelers, that they make sure we keep our personal power, that they're not coming, because no human, whether the experience with the extraterrestrial comes through a channel or whether it's face-to-face, eye-to-eye extraterrestrial contact, we want to make sure that the human being remains valued, that the human life is essential, and that they have rights and will, and that it's important that they maintain that. See, within the communities, and there's so much going on, and we're just bursting at the seams and evolving in all of these different areas, integrating the experiences, it seems important. It seems like it'll help everybody sort of settle in and settle down into the experience, because of course when they first happen or when you're first triggered with it, the information is just like so big and it's so out there, and kind of got to settle it down so that it becomes practical, useful.
Exactly.
No good if you're walking around with your head in the clouds, right? You know, so we have to ground that information into our energy so that it can be dispersed appropriately.
Yes. Right.
Protocols again.
So yes. So it can be grounded in a practical manner in this earth.
Right.
And that's actually what our Jung keeps bringing up a lot in the channeling. So yes, literally. So you got the point. You don't need to channel.
Right.
So that's actually what I believe, in a sense that even though I am one of those facilitators, and no matter how much I love doing that work, co-creating with our star family. I love to see a person who is fully empowered, who is doing what they love to do and living their dream, because that's basically what they are reminding us of.
Yeah.
That we all have that potential within us, and they're basically inviting us to wake up to that and use it and stand in our power and to do something with it.
Yeah, it's bittersweet.
So if you're already doing that, really, what else is there to tell that person except for congratulations, you're doing amazing, and thank you for spreading your light, like you are. You're stepping forward on a stage, even you became a public speaker. That must have been quite exciting for you.
Maybe it should have been, but it's just happened, and they asked, can you do a 2-hour lecture on the abduction phenomena and so forth, and sure.
So it naturally flows.
It's very natural for me.
But it's still you sharing your passion.
It is me sharing my passion. And like you and the work that you do, for me, the biggest bittersweet moment is when they don't need me anymore. Right?
Oh, you say bittersweet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's sweet, but, it's bitter for me. Bittersweet, it means that, they don't need you anymore, but that's good, but it's sad because you won't see them.
Okay, oh, well, yeah, no, I'm pretty what's gonna sound really weird, and maybe it's just new paradigm-ish, I don't know, but I'm really just happy.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
No, I'm happy and sad at the same time, bittersweet.
Oh, okay, well, that's sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
I see where that's coming from.
Yeah, I'm happy and sad at the same time. Happy that they found their path.
Right.
Sad that, it's just like a mother, the child moves out, you're happy they can do it, but you're sad,
yes.
They don't need you anymore, that's good.
Yeah, that's
sad.
That's great. Oh yeah, well, yeah. For me, maybe it's because so many people are coming now from all over the world. They get emails and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And for private sessions, I'm like, okay, there's so much input already. Some output is actually also healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it goes really fast. I don't know about you. Of course, the people that come to you, sometimes they have had experiences maybe when they were young, and now they are 60 or 70 even.
Yes.
And it's the first time they open up about this, so I'm sure that will take some time then maybe. And probably you also meet people who are basically done integrating but just want to share some experiences with you.
Right. Well, yes, they want to share, or so if they come for a session, say they might want to move into the subconscious mind where we can get to a 360-degree view because there are no limits. So
I love how you put that.
Yeah, so you can perceive
Yes.
and move into the experience and gain more information that might assist you on your path.
Right.
But I don't only journey them into the subconscious mind of self-exploration and learning, but into the superconscious mind.
Right.
The possibilities of what might be and what we can trigger to move out and open further.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
it's like a different dimension within us.
Right. Oh, yes. And now I am going to come back to the topic that we spoke of in the last video. So you felt that in all your own experiences there was one being, or should I say a trinity of beings, was present. So for me, as I've gotten to understand it, Arjun, the being that I'm channeling, who is of the Yael, the hybrid race of the Yael, as I understand it, he's a future version self of me, so we share the same oversoul, and there is no time basically, so we're living simultaneously.
The multidimensional reality,
yes, exactly.
I understand.
So that's how we can cooperate and do this sharing together. And everybody has these parallel selves, whether it is human or, well, Interstellar even is always there because we didn't originate on this planet. But maybe I'm just going a little bit too fast right now.
Well, not for me.
Okay, well, thanks. But to come back to my question for you, do you feel that this Trinity being, I'm just going to call it that for now, is another parallel self of you somehow?
Well, I had never thought of that. Possibly because they seem so advanced, so beyond, and so much bigger, really, than I know myself to be at this moment. So I never really associated it that way. In fact, after the initial experiences where they really were showed me some things, I questioned and asked whether or not they were angels or aliens, and I just searched and wondered and pondered and for 2 years until I came to the conclusion that it didn't really matter if they were angels or aliens. What really mattered is that they just were.
Right.
And then so why was I trying so hard, to like label it
Yes.
when I just wasn't capable of making that label.
Right.
So I don't know who they are still.
Oh.
And so I don't know if that's my future self. If it is, then hee-haw. Okay? Because, that's pretty amazing. And if that's a future aspect or a simultaneous aspect of myself, then I feel quite confident that I'm doing things the way they should be done.
Mm-hmm.
It would bring great peace in knowing that possible evolution of sublime, pure love, unconditional acceptance would be something that I could offer continuously. And if that were part of me, I would be quite proud of that.
Oh, but that is so, right? You can share.
I'm starting to feel it. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to own that.
Oh,
I
yes,
can
yes.
do that. Yeah, I can see that. That would be an amazing thing.
Right. Oh, wow. I see it in you. I see this in
thank
everyone.
you.
I mean.
Well, I see the divinity, the divine self in people,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand their great personal power.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always sort of kept it on the human realm,
Mm-hmm.
because at this moment we are human.
Mm-hmm.
And since my consciousness is primarily alpha consciousness in this reality, I try to honor the humanness.
Don't you think, though, that
It's like equally.
Mhm.
I try to honor the humanity equally to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the you man, as you explained it
Yes.
earlier. If we are, as we both understand it, to be living light,
Right.
then we are in source that unconditional love.
Right.
So this is why I
Well,
think.
I can own it because in order to have either a very negative extraterrestrial experience, such as a gray abduction,
Mhm.
or a very blissful, loving experience like this, we have to be able to resonate with that.
Right.
We have to be able to conceive, conceptualize,
Yes.
assimilate the information. We have to vibrationally be able to resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I can resonate with that, then I can kind of own it as being something possible and available within myself.
Part of you.
Yeah.
As a reflection.
Definitely.
Yes.
As a reflection.
Yes.
Definitely would have come, because when I was a very young child,
Mm-hmm.
I was always found outside in the backyard, my head tilted back, my eyes would be wide and intent on the sky, and I would be like feeling this amazing, loving, magnificent energy, and I was too young to put my finger on it. 3 years old, they'd find me, and it was always, I could feel something, and then by the time I was 10, I began to realize that I heard the word in my head, reflection. And I knew that we were just a reflection,
Right.
and I began to understand it. So I started to really want to explore the universe, and so basically with a handful of tacks
Mm-hmm.
and some tape and string, I created a grid on my bedroom windows and started to chart planets as they moved through constellations, and I was really beginning to create my own little science project on very unscientific on the universe, but because I felt so deeply inside of me, at that moment, at 10 years old, that big double-digit time in your life, I knew that we were a reflection, and so I've always had a very sense of a strong kind of moral compass, and understanding that I'm only just a light behind the eyes. The body, a vessel carrying myself for this experience.
Yes. Oh, yes. I see. Do you think that's so? What I really love about the messages that come from them is they invite us to see them as equal.
Right.
So that we can meet as equals. For them, it's really not helpful to see them as like something much higher than us. And So we can play. This is literally what Arjun loves to say: dance and play. He's very much about that.
It's a lovely cosmic dance we can do.
Oh, very much. Yes. And so we are the light behind the eyes, but we have chosen to have the eyes and to have the physical body to play and dance with in this density. So as we are growing in our understanding of everything, the more metaphysical understanding, so we are growing into grasping that the truth is within. I love to like kind of pop the bubble of there cannot be a teacher. Now there's this whole movement that no gurus, you know, like for me personally, I think everybody I meet is a teacher. You are my teacher. The person that I meet in the street is my teacher, and you know, I wouldn't want to do without them.
Yeah.
There's YouTube videos that teach me new things. I learn from my star brothers and sisters that are part of me. Everything is part of me. So I really love to dance and play with that.
Yeah, I think the best teachers are constant students.
Yes, because it's so much fun to learn.
Yeah.
There's so much fun in not knowing everything.
Oh yeah.
That makes me really happy. Kind of everlasting exploring.
Yeah, it's definitely an adventure, and it is an exploration. It's an exploration of self and understanding where we are headed. But it's also being able to be in the moment, to live in the now, and to really experience the joy. Because I'm going to tell you, this planet is incredibly beautiful.
Oh yes.
A planet filled with abundance for all of our needs to be met. Everybody can let go of feelings of scarcity and know that there's always enough. This planet is magnificent. It's up to us to be this change that we're seeing and to create the ideas that will allow people to release those feelings of scarcity, own the abundance, and celebrate the planet. It's a joyous occasion.
Yes, so that's what they're reminding us of, because we all know this. So that's kind of...
Well, we all not know.
On some level.
Well, we hope they know it out there, because people are going, well, I have bills to pay and kids to feed, and so it's easy to get tied down in the daily stresses of living.
Which is logical from the rational perspective.
But what's important to remember, those are circumstances of your life, not your life.
Right.
Your life is your opportunity to live and to explore. The other thing's simply circumstances.
Oh, I so love how you bring everything together. So you have had these experiences, you're helping people who have had experiences of extraterrestrials. And you said earlier, maybe in the video or in between, I don't remember this exactly, but that often the experiencers didn't channel. That it wasn't channeling. So for me, I also saw both sides.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating, really interesting, because both can go hand in hand as well. So my story was from experiencer into, you say contactee is different because now you are aware of what's going on.
I kind of think so. Well, definitely from abduction and moving into a contact to ascension process.
Yes.
Your awareness is definitely broadened.
And then channeling can occur. So for you, it was around your 30th year.
Yes.
When that became more clear, and funnily enough for me as well, we already have this like one.
I think it's a magic time.
Yeah, maybe it's a magic number. And then the open contact can actually, or at least for us, we can't generalize in any way, shape, or form.
Well, not really.
But for us, it was around 30. So what is your thought about that? When you move into that more conscious awareness, and this is what you're sharing right now.
Well, kind of, I think it's like this. We understand the things that we're learning, our lessons, we understand who we are, our place on the earth, we understand karma, we balance karma, we move into dharma. Dharma is now taking responsibility for the things that we've learned and teaching others, helping them along the path, moving the bigger obstacles out of the way and shining a little bit of light on it because we've been there. Our karma seems more balanced. We are not reactatory to emotional situations. We meditate practicing equanimity, the ability to be calm and strong and clear-minded, and we give of ourselves. We become in service to humanity. and we help them along their way. It's dharma. We take the responsibility and we do the work.
Oh wow! And so this is what you got from, of course, the Buddhist school. These are the words from the Buddhist school.
Yeah, well, not just only there, but I have, as you see, all of the books in the house. I have been subjected to many great teachers, and all of them just point back to ourselves.
Right. Yeah, and it just incidentally happens to be a really good word for that, dharma.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
see.
Well,
yeah.
it's a nice level step that you know that you're going to be taking next.
And
it doesn't end there. Okay.
No, it never ends. It doesn't end anywhere. So for people who were hoping for that, no. But that's the fun of it, right?
Yes.
So, and as I understand it, this what you call dharma in this case,
Yeah.
I think, or I've come to believe that is what automatically follows when you embrace life. You are in your here and now, and you follow your heart. And that's when you start radiating. And whether it's in your mind or not, the intention to assist others or to become of service, you will be. Just because you are shining and you are in your here and now.
Right.
For instance, a toddler who is playing on the street, safe street with no cars, well, just like an image.
No kidnappers.
No kidnappers. No, it's just like
great street.
Playing and laughing and maybe you blowing bubbles, with soap. When that's just a toddler, and people can say, well, that child is of no use to humanity. But when somebody was a little bit depressed and sees the kid and remembers their own childhood, in that moment magic is occurring.
Yes.
And the kid is the healer.
Yes.
So I think the power is in every single here and now when we just fully are who we are.
Yeah.
And surrender to that.
Yes, and just being what you are is always enough.
Exactly.
We don't have to strive to create a facade of social acceptance for this or for that. Just be open, and everything will unfold from there. Like we were saying earlier, the only path you're on is the right path. There is no other path except for the one that you're on.
Yes.
And there are no mistakes.
Yes. Oh, I really love how you speak. In such a big understanding of, as I perceive it, of source, of love, of unconditional love. And I also feel that channeling and the extraterrestrial family, our star family members, we're eventually all connected to the same source.
I believe that, yes.
Yeah, so the messages come through many channels, and we are all channelers in that sense.
Right.
And no single person can be left out of that, because we have come all together here.
Yeah, it's a full circle of giving and receiving.
Yes.
And in order to give, you have to know how to receive.
Yes.
And when you receive, you begin to learn how to give. It's just
it's this
continuous
beautiful
cycle. Yeah.
Yes. And so maybe we are dancing with more beings than we know of.
I'm sure we
Oh,
are.
yes. But, well, that's for you to decide for yourself. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I learned a lot more. I love how you work. Laurie does incredible work with both experiences as well as contactees as well as channelers.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And
I'm learning a little more about channelers from you. Thank you.
Yay, awesome. I love sharing and I love learning from you. Thank you for being such a beautiful reflection also.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. It's really been wonderful.
Wow. So thank you all for watching, and I wish you a beautiful and a wonderful day. Namaste.